you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on one sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on one sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on one sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15
Are
what?
you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? So this is Bro Safest Tonight. I felt like tonight's video needed a personal touch because it has to be redneck to redneck, mono y mono. Okay? Because Jake, I would classify as a bit of a redneck tonight. So I'm just saying that I just felt like a little bit of a handicap was a bit necessary. So I'm just going to go ahead. Why do they make these tops like this? They got to embarrass me on camera. Oh, shit. Got it. Did it. All right. So, tonight, Jake, who comes from the southern end of the United States, the asshole of the United States, he is going to be defending biblical slavery to us, and he's going to be doing it in favor of the Bible, of course. And he's not going to make a whole lot of sense. Now, of course, me being a good Christian, I acknowledge the fact that my good Lord has deemed some individuals to be slaves. Who those people should be is up for discussion, I guess, but we all know that the Bible definitely supports slavery. If you want to get to know more, Dr. Joshua Bowen has this book about how the Old Testament definitely does endorse slavery, but don't worry, we've all got the love of Christ, so it's okay.
Your audio apparently is extremely loud.
It's probably because I'm yelling. Hold on, let me turn my ass down. Because, how's that doing? Oh, really? Well, I'm sorry, this is not my fault. This is fucking Godless Engineer's fault. He's the tech guy. But anyways, we're going to be back right after this shit. All right, heathens. Well, tonight we have a little bit of a different structure to the stream because I'm taking over it. So obviously I'm going to fuck it up. But first, we got a little bit of a hold on. We have an announcement to make right here at the start of the video. Okay, so y'all just hold on 1 second. I will get there. Hey heathens! Today's video is brought to you by Exter. So before we start, here's a word from our sponsor. Yes, GE, I have got all of your liquor here. I got your Jack Daniels, your Moonshine, and your Kraken. So one second, good sir. You're paying for this, right? Yes, I've got your wallet. All right. I'll pay for it using your PayPal. Okay. All right, I'll be home soon. Bye. Hold on, I've got to find his card in his godforsaken wallet here. What is this? Is this it? What the hell? He's an ordained minister? Okay, news to me. Alright, that's not it. Wait. He's got an Olive Garden gift card. Why does he have an Olive Garden? You know what? I'm just going to keep this for myself. I mean, he doesn't eat there anyways. Yeah, I got this extra wallet right here. It is the best wallet in the world, I am telling you. It's so easy to use. You just pop this right here. It's RFID protected and everything. It's even got a nice little flap where you can carry some extra stuff in as well as some cash. Also, you can't lose it because it's got a GPS tracker in it. You know what? Since I'm here, I got my wallet out and it's just easy to get to. I'm going to go ahead and pay for this with my PayPal. Thank you, good sir, for the alcohol. If you want your own extra wallet, use the link in the description to get 25% off your purchase at extra.com. All right, just had to get that out of the way. Thank you so much for listening to that sponsorship. If you want to, you can go and get you an extra wallet since it's coming up on Christmas and shit. They got great savings, and if you use my code down below, I get a little bit, so I can buy some more Bud Light. You know, Casey, I'm probably going to need another can tonight. I'm just saying.
All right, well, you just tell me when you're done.
I will say when.
Okay.
All right, so, let's see. All right, so first, a minor change to how we do things on the Friday night channel, stream, whatever in the fuck. Bud Light's getting to me. All right, listen. So we're going to be doing a questions for Brocephus, or Brocephus answers questions. I don't have really a good intro or segue into this, but it's basically I'm just going to be answering some questions that people have on the internet. Okay? This is just to get everybody ready. Okay, so first up we got, is Black Friday a racist tradition because it romanticizes the selling of slaves? Does it imply that POC are worth less because prices are lower on Black Friday? Now, I cannot stress this enough. This is not the origin story of Black Friday, okay? In 18-something or another in a fuck, two guys decided that they were going to buy up all the gold or some shit, and then they sold them all on this one Friday after Thanksgiving, and that was called Black Friday. Sorry, there's an echo in here.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That was the first use of Black Friday, and then the second use was later on when Black Friday was used to denote how much traffic and how businesses would sell so much that they would finally go into the black for the year instead of staying in the red. So Black Friday is meant to denote the fact that the department stores were able to trick you enough into buying their shit so that they could go into the black as far as their own economics goes, right? They would end up at the end of the year being profitable, and it's all because of you fucking sheep out there going and buying shit like KC and GE did with the Black Friday sale this year. Buying those big fucking TVs. Y'all moving or something?
Yeah?
What? Do I get a room?
Yes, you have a room.
Score. Alright, so that's the real origin story of Black Friday. None of this fucking liberal blackwashing, I guess, of history or something. I don't know. This shit is not true, and that's why it's on Quora. Alright, next question. What do we got? Next question. Will people follow me as the Messiah from heaven? Fuck no, there's only one Messiah, and it's Jesus Christ. I will only suck his dick. You cannot trick me, Satan. I need this shit. All right. If I am from heaven, is it such a rare occurrence to have an angel born here on earth? Yeah, only happened once, motherfucker. And we don't have any written records at the time, but we got people that eventually got around to writing the shit down. Born here on earth, that we should admit that they are God's Messiah and try to learn to become better people through their teaching. Well, who would you suggest other than you, dipshit, who's leaving a question on fucking Quora or whatever the fuck website this is from? I really don't think Jesus would come back and be like, let me post some dumb shit on Quora. Just hold on one second. Well, shit, people don't like me calling myself the Messiah. They're saying I'm going to burn in hell now because you are. Well, I mean, You know, that's technically what Jesus got put on the cross for, was claiming that he was God and shit and saying he was better and stuff. So maybe not do that. Next.
Your green screen is messing with your glasses. Have you noticed?
That's because I have so much space in between the individual brain cells that you can see through my head.
Oh, okay.
That's why my glasses are slightly invisible.
Not normally, that's why I asked.
Oh, okay. Next question. Is God sandwich? I feel like this is a hot dog a sandwich kind of conversation. God is not a sandwich unless you consider the Father to be sandwiched between the Son and the Holy Spirit, thus making a really strange orgy up in heaven, which I think is actually how it is. So is God sandwich? Yes, he is the meat.
Also the bread.
And the bread. And the milk? What, wine?
Milk in a sandwich.
I don't know. Why do people buy milk whenever it snows?
Because people need milk to drink. The kids need milk.
We gotta make our milk sandwiches, honey. Goddamn.
No.
Anyways, how does the Earth's gravity cost? How much does the Earth's gravity cost? Well, if you guys have ever seen D Marble, obviously it does not cost much, but it costs more than whatever the fuck flat earthers make. It costs $5, and that's more money than D Marble has. If you don't get that joke, he lives in a van down by the river. Finally, on Ask Bro Cephas shit, if you love coffee, and maybe this is a good one for you to ask there, Casey, can you get an exemption from needing a law degree when training as a barista?
What?
Come on now, hold on, let me get this over here. There you go. Just scream the answer. Can you get an exemption?
But I don't even know what an exemption from what?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to do law while you're making coffee.
Why?
Reasons and shit. Haven't you ever made coffee before? Don't you have to litigate in order to get it?
GE makes my coffee.
That son of a bitch. He don't have a law degree. He's a goddamn engineer.
I mean, he does a good job, so I guess you don't need a law degree.
Okay, whatever. Alright, let's swing this motherfucker right back around over here. There we go. Okay, that's a dumb fucking question. Well, many of you were asking what Quora is. Quora is a website where you can ask questions a lot like Yahoo Answers. Anybody can do it, and that's why there's so many dipshits on there. Now we're going to be going... Oh, hold on. First, let's check on our president real quick. Let's see how he's doing with losing the election. Because me, Bro Cephas, even as a staunch Republican, I do not support this dumbass in office. So let's... Make America great again. Okay? Well, I gotta say it right. Make America great again! Rigged election! Get tough, Republicans! You know, they started calling some Republicans out there rhinos. Not like Vice Rhino, but like rhino as in Republican in name only, as a way to denigrate those that are Republicans and aren't crazy as fucking shit. By the way, fuck Trump. In case nobody knew that already, fuck Trump. Both GE and I agree on this one thing. All right. Now that we've checked on the mental health of our president of the United States, right? I feel like we need to do daily mental health checks on that motherfucker. Let's go to some comments. Calvin Mitchell says, I would love for you to try and test God's gangster. What? What does that mean? Test God's gangster?
I don't know, maybe his lean.
Is he making God out to be like an OG, an original gangster? Like he's rolling through the hood like, yeah, and he's like bumping his car and shit. I don't know. Anyways, if you experience the things I have, you would understand. To think I've never read a Bible or practiced in a church, yet I still believe it, should tell you something. By the way, your facts are out of date and your video is fucking terrible.
first.
Yeah. Well, and then I don't know, are these praying hands? Because it seems like he prays to God, throws the big fuck you, and then what the fuck is that? Is that a So he's like, praise Jesus, go fuck yourself, home alone. I've got no idea. If y'all could give me an insight on that, I would be very appreciative. Oh, hey, another thing. I want to say thank you to a big thank you to KC. I was gonna wear this tonight, but I couldn't, which is really sad. But you know, as our president says, sad. Oh, I got my 10,000 steps in. All right. So KC got this for me. I really appreciate it, KC, and I guess GE, but mostly KC.
It's definitely just me.
Okay. I got this barbecue, bear, and freedom, and it's a muscle shirt, just like that motherfucker had on that thing.
Oh man, it really does fuck up your green screen.
It fucks it up a lot. Yes, GE was saying how much it did fuck it up.
Explain.
Huh?
Explain to the people it fucks up the green screen.
Oh yeah, so it fucks up the green screen, as you could all see, because it reflects too much fucking light, and so therefore I can't do it. All right, if we had like a bigger place, which we'll be getting in sometime, May, might be able to do it then, but until then I'll just wear it around the house in my business casual wear, which usually amounts to sweatpants and now barbecue, bear, and freedom. All right. 90% Nobel scientists convinced in, and then we don't know what they're convinced in. I feel like you need a shorter name so that we get the full message that you're trying to send with your channel title. Anyways, Godless engineer, this person, Kim Clement, prophesies 9/11, Donald Trump becoming president by name. And even the part which they will say, impeach Trump. And they will not succeed. And even Trump meeting with the North Korean leader, the recognition of Jerusalem, he would appoint two in the Supreme Court, which also happened. And people will be fooled on election day. But he will have 2 terms. I like how it's not terms, it's just 2 terms. I feel like my accent really sells the intelligence of this person. He gonna have 2 terms. The Democrats will be exposed and humiliated by another Edward Snowden. Okay, big words there. All this was prophesied years before Trump, even though about running, I think they meant thought. Before Trump even thought about running for president, 98% of his prophecies came to pass so far, and the only thing left is the last 2 parts. Lock him up! Oh, look him up. Shit. Sorry, I thought you got reasonable right there at the end, and it was like a twist or some shit. Lock him up! Fooled you! Anyways, I don't care who prophesizes anything. If you prophecy shit, you are a witch, you're from the devil, and you suck that Satan dick, and I don't want that fucking spiky dick anywhere near me, okay? I only suck Jesus Christ's dick, and that motherfucker says nobody gonna prophesy shit. So I don't want to hear it. There you go. Fuck you.
Okay.
Next up on the comments, we got somebody from Facebook being a dipshit. Being as COVID virus hasn't been isolated, it's safe to say it doesn't exist. What the fuck you mean it hasn't been isolated? Holy shit, motherfucker. Have you not seen? We have isolated it. God damn, why are you so fucking dumb?
There's even a COVID emoji.
There's a COVID emoji. We know what the motherfucker looks like. We know how it works. We've identified multiple different strains of it. God damn it. By the way, I got my flu shot today. I don't know if you guys can tell. I still got my little... It's an adult Band-Aid. I wanted Wolverine, but they was like, you're an adult. Anyway, I got my vaccine, my flu vaccine today, so y'all better go get vaccinated and shit.
You know, we should have put a Jesus Band-Aid on you.
A Jesus Band-Aid?
Yeah.
That would have sounded a lot better before the stream went live, but I didn't think about it.
You had a Band-Aid on your arm.
Well, I mean, I just now remembered, so we're both in surprisery right now. All right, the next comment on this same image says, them face masks are just a false sense of security, a visual to make it look like the government is doing something and scaring people in the meantime. 2 birds with 1 mask. What does that even fucking mean? 2 birds with 1 mask? Can you put 2 birds in 1 mask? You could probably put 2 small birds, but you get one of them fucking flying rat pigeon things and only one of them will fit in a mask. What the fuck are you talking about here? Also, a false sense of security. Do you not know how fucking masks work? Here, look. Okay, we got this from Kitty. This is GE's. Mine is somewhere in the fuck around here something. I'm not sure. It's back here or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's somewhere. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so here's a mask. You try to breathe in it, and it keeps your nasty fucking breath near you instead of spreading it to other fucking people. That's how masks work, you dipshit. Fuck me. Even I understand this. Alright, last comment before we get to the video tonight.
You understand shit because you're not as dumb as you sound.
Oh, really?
No. How you doing on your beer?
I'm about halfway.
Okay.
Alright, and then finally, we got this dipshit who says, just a reminder, the flu has a vaccine and still kills 45,000 to 65,000 each year. Educating the panicked. Okay, here we go. I realize that the blood of Jesus protects me, but even I know that I still need a vaccine, and here's why. Because it protects against the most popular flu that was going around the last year. Now, that doesn't guarantee that you won't get the flu, but it definitely will protect you against, or most of the time will protect you against getting the flu this year. But the flu changes because adaptation, not evolution, okay? Sorry, the lawyers are telling me to tell you that evolution is a fact. By the way, evolution is a fact, and that flus evolve. The flu virus evolves over time, and that's why we continuously need new vaccines and need to get revaccinated and shit. Yeah, that's what they're telling me. So, like I said, I got the blood of Jesus protecting me. I got a bloody shield around me all the time. It's kind of like that dome from Ghostbusters 2, just everywhere, okay? So I would appreciate it if everybody would get their bloody shield, but also get vaccinated because you always need a backup. All right, y'all ready for this dumbass video? Finally getting to it after about a half hour of bullshit. Alright, this is Jake's Loves Jesus. Now, for the Skeptic Mafia people, they've already watched this, and they have been commenting on his videos, and it seems like Jake is very responsive. So after this broadcast, I will try to do my best and remember to put his video in the description.
Jake needs to clean his room.
I do have to agree with that. One small criticism before we get started. Jake, clean your filthy ass room up, please. I mean, it's not that it's all that bad to look at right now, but it just makes you look a bit disorganized. Also, I don't want to know what the fucking... Crap, I can't point all the way. I don't want to know what the Jergens is for over there on your desk. But it would be helpful if you kept that out the picture. Also, it looks like you got some Purell, maybe? Or maybe that's shampoo. I can't remember which. But I gotta tell you, I think shampoo might last you a while there, Jake. I know it lasts me a while. I've hardly got hair either. But also, if you'll notice, he's got a soda can over here. Now, of course, I'm drinking beer, but... Huh?
That's not a soda can.
I meant a soda cup. It's a fountain cup from a fucking restaurant or something. I didn't mean can. I was looking at my Bud Light can as I was talking. All right. Let's get to this shit. All right, Jake. Let's defend biblical slavery, shall we?
Hello, my name is Jake. Today I'm going to be making a video talking about an atheist's objection to the Bible about the Bible endorsing slavery. This is a very popular thing that is causing a lot of liberal-minded people to stop believing in God, because one of the ways that
Sorry, I just got to stop right here. I don't think that the slavery bit is really stopping people from believing in God. I have not seen any statistics on this or anything like that. GE's got that citation fucking needed shirt. Citation fucking needed for this one. I get that the whole slavery being endorsed by the Bible thing shakes your faith a bit, but don't worry, because Jesus has a nice little catch-all of everybody's good, and all you gotta do is suck Jesus' dick, and we're all slaves to Jesus kind of mentality. So, I mean, you really, just because the Old Testament supports slavery in every single facet that you could possibly come at it from, don't worry, Jesus is here for the magical cure. I mean that quite literally. It's quite literally a magical cure for shit that the Old Testament invented. That being original sin. Let's just go on with this, because I don't like where I'm going with this as a Christian.
your head to get you to start questioning God is by taking something that's relevant to the culture and trying to read that back into the Bible and say, see, they fought differently. And it shouldn't surprise us that.
Well, I want to stop you right here, Jakey Poo, because yes, while slavery was a common thing at that time, what you have to keep in mind is that the Holy Bible is supposed to be good, absolutely. It lays down the absolute laws. You know, the fucking Moses up there on the thing, and he's like, these 10 laws. But also we have an appendix of 900 laws that you also have to memorize. What was it, like every year they got to go through that shit or something? Or every 4 years or something? I don't know. There's like a schedule for memorizing this shit and everything. But yeah, so we got the big 10, which doesn't include don't own people, by the way. And then we've got 900 over here, which also does not include don't own people. So it definitely does support slavery. And just because slavery was a common thing amongst all of the nations at that time, in every culture they had slaves in one fashion or another. Just because it was okay then does not mean that it should be or is okay now. All right? But don't worry, because Jesus came back and all that, bless you, what is it called? Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. Watch wallet? What the fuck ever.
Look where you're watching.
Oh, watch. I don't have my wallet on me. Oh, my wallet's on the same side, so wallet, watch. Right?
You just do it wrong.
Oh, shit. Okay, anyways. All right, let's get back to it.
Biblical times fought very differently about things than we do now. So many thousand years later. So back in biblical times, the first thing to say, slavery was a normal part of life. It wasn't unusual for a person to have a slave. That was just part of their culture back in those days.
Yes, as I said before, every culture had slaves, so the Israelites were no different than all of the other cultures. Keep that in mind. They were no different. So to claim that they were different is bullshit.
Is that there is laws in God's law that actually is against the cruelty of slaves. It was against verbally, violently abusing your slaves in ways.
Okay, I'm not sure what Bible you're reading, but from the experts here, which I've got another expert that I can actually pull up on screen. right now. This is Joel Baden, who is a professor of the Hebrew Bible at Yale. You know, not the trailer park down the road there, Jakey Poo. But anyways, Joel here says, for the people in the back, that would be you, dipshit! Israelites forced by debt to work for their fellow Israelites are to be treated relatively decently, which is what he's talking about. But then, this is the nuance when it comes to slavery in the Old Testament. Non-Israelites are people from foreign countries, foreign religions that were taken as slaves. The non-Israelites taken captive in war or purchased as in chattel, by the way, are treated as inheritable property and can be abused without limit, as Israel was in Egypt. So just saying there, Jakey Poo, you're wrong. I'm muted. I'm lucky to know all of this shit right here. I don't have email. Just email me. As long as I can drink beer, I'm good. So, math pig, you just email me, okay? Math piggy. See!
Slaves in ways that would be inappropriate. Another thing to say is that the New Testament also, it lays out how we should treat our slaves. If we had slaves, we should treat them with love and care and not be harsh with them, knowing that we have a master in heaven too.
Okay, this is particularly hilarious, okay, because for one thing, what he's doing is he's comparing the Israelites or the Jews or the Christians in his case to a slave master situation between him and God, thereby admitting directly that we are slaves to Jesus's mighty dick. Okay? So there's one thing. Oh shit, Eric sent a super chat. Oh fuck. Eric Hamion says, I'm curious what GE just said, but I think it's a mute point. Ha ha ha! Punny. That's punny. Thank you so much there, Eric Hamion, for your super chat and your punniness. But anyways, so he's making this delineation, right? That, we are to treat slaves nice because we ourselves are slaves to God. I don't know why this doesn't have red flags off in your head, but we'll just blow right past that. But we'll focus on the fact that this is, again, Israelite debt slaves who are still, in particular circumstances, inheritable and can be passed down generation to generation and could potentially be slaves their entire lives. So, I mean, yes, they were treated decently and they were ordered to in the Bible, but again, these are Israelite slaves. These are fellow Hebrew slaves. So like you, Mr. Christian, can enslave another Christian by paying off their debt, and they would have to work under you for no money, and you would have to clothe them and feed them and everything like that, but they wouldn't have any kind of real freedom on their own, and you could just own them outright. But luckily, society doesn't work like that now because we figured out, that's kind of a dipshitty thing to do. Also, God didn't mean that because Jesus.
So, nowhere in the scriptures does it condone verbally abusing slaves. You could try to make an argument to say that the Bible condones slavery, but it does not condone viciously abusing your slave.
So let me get this straight there, dipshit. You're fine with the Bible condoning slavery, something that we find abhorrent now. You're fine. But your caveat is, but it was good slavery. It wasn't bad. It ain't bad slavery. It's the good kind of slavery. I'm not exactly sure what the good kind of slavery is, but apparently this motherfucker thinks it's the slavery that was in the Bible. Can I get another one, honey? Casey.
Yeah.
So I really don't see how it can be like good. Like, I don't consider slavery good. I think the Israelites were dipshits. That's why I'm a Christian, because blood of Jesus and some shit like that. I suck on his dick and we're fine and we're good and nobody's a slave except for me being a slave to Jesus. Just pointing that out there once again. I'm a slave to Jesus. I feel like that should be a Christina Aguilera song. I'm a slave for Jesus.
That's Britney Spears.
Oh, is that Britney Spears?
Yes.
I don't know these singing bitches.
Oh my God.
Abusing your slave, like say they did in the the black slavery that happened in America. So
What he means to say here is, the technical term for it is antebellum slavery. That Lady A, Lady Antebellum, they changed their name to Lady A like we don't know what the fucking A means. More to the point, though, what I want to make here is that just because Israelite slavery, the slavery contained in the Old Testament, is not the same as antebellum slavery, does not mean that the slavery that exists in the Bible and at the time of the Israelites was better. It's still a bad thing that people owned other people. You cannot get around that. Also, you don't seem to understand the differences between non-Israelite slaves and Israelite slaves.
this is not really a good argument here. And I would even go on to say that nobody thinks of it like this, but technically, when you are an employee to an employer, in some degree, you are a slave to that person. Yes,
Well, to use the words of you, technically, you're wrong. Because the big difference between being a paid worker and being a slave is the fact that you're paid and you can leave if you choose to. Slavery, especially debt slavery and the non-Israelite kind of slavery, you could not just willfully leave that particular situation.
There's also employee protection laws and shit.
Yes, there are employee protection laws and all that, so please don't try to say that current working conditions is the exact same as slavery unless you work in one of them slave shops that like Donald Trump uses to produce all of his shit. Sweatshops. That's what they're called. Sweatshops. Where they got 7-year-olds making fucking MAGA hats and shit. Because they import all of their stuff from China while the other guys, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, use union fabric sewers and shit. I don't know. It's made in the USA and shit while Trump makes his shit in China and then rants and raves about China. China's the source of all of our problems except the problem of having more MAGA hats because they solved that problem pretty good.
person. Yes, you're getting paid for it at your job, but you are working for somebody, and in a way, you are kind of a slave to that person. So,
what fucking job do you work? If you are working at a job where you feel like you're doing slave labor, then maybe you should get out of that job and report them to some kind of, I don't know, health rights organization or human rights organization. That's what I meant, not health rights. Shit. Yes, I definitely needed this other beer.
Like, slavery is not all as bad as what it was, say, in you know, like the 1800s, early 1900s. You know,
Yes, it was. I don't know what in the fuck you're talking about. I mean, just because it wasn't exactly antebellum slavery doesn't mean that the slaves were treated like they were, civil workers or some shit. I mean, the day in the life of a slave was really hard, even in Israelite times. And under Israelite law, you could be beaten the shit out of, and then as long as you survived for 3 days, you were fine to get up and work, and there was no problem with the owner. He did not suffer any kind of consequences. Here's another thing in one of them 999 fucking laws that God also handed down to Moses. Not sure if you know this, but if a bull gores another person, like another fellow Hebrew or Israelite, then that guy that owns the bull, whatever the fuck, killed the other guy, both the bull and the guy have to get killed, all right, because they committed murder, and it's kind of an eye for an eye, kind of tooth for a tooth kind of thing, which is also another law in there. But anyways, but if the bull kills a slave, then the owner just has to pay the guy money for the slave, because the slave was just monetary. It was not valued as a human life. So how do you get around this there, bud? How do you get around the fact that slaves were not seen as human and were not protected as human, but rather they were protected as property? Also, just like women, and remember that, honey, 2 Timothy, what the fuck ever, you know.
Why you keep calling me honey?
You know what? Never mind. We got another super chat from Michael Thole. Hold on. Michael Thole says, does he know what words mean? Fuck no. He said, tentatively. Like he was drunk. Like he was at fucking Trailer Park Tracy in Michigan. Who was like, 100,000 ballots were run 3 fucking times, right? Oh, what did y'all do? Go back there and do something crazy with them? I swear to Christ, I never thought I'd see a more redneck person come from Detroit or Michigan in general. I don't think she was from Detroit.
hundreds. You know, you can make a case for saying that technically, when you work a job and your employer smarts off to you and makes you do this, that, and the other, that they're kind of like your master and you're kind of like your slave in a sense.
Just to reiterate, no, they're not. You have the option to work there. You also have laws that protect your rights. So no, the modern workplace is not the same as slavery. No, bad.
I feel like you need to hit him with a rolled up paper. Yep.
I got the book here. Did the Old Testament endorse slavery? Yes. Which he doesn't seem to disagree with that, but it was still bad. Dipshit. God damn it. Anyways, Fran Wilson says toys to sprinkle over the word salad. Yep. Thank you, Fran. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what toys you're sprinkling over. Maybe you're sprinkling the little Micro Machine toys over the word salad. Or maybe you're talking about whatever in the fuck's in the background there. What the fuck is back there? Looks like we got some dandruff shampoo. He probably needs it. We got some Tylenol. And that Jergens is still back there.
Well, did you expect him to use it on stream?
I mean, honestly, he's jerking off enough already. He probably needs it.
So, by that logic, slavery is still a thing in the world today. So, and that would have probably been more like what it was back in these days, although I do think they would have been probably more cruel just because it was a crueler time. But
then, inherently, it would not be the exact same thing, but also jobs today are not akin to being enslaved. fucking, this is that point in time when I'm truly embarrassed for the Christian community when dipshits like this have phones smart enough to fucking record video. Lisa for Truth says, can we kick the pumpkin out now? Yeah, fucking kick the pumpkin right the fuck out your door there, Lisa. Do it. Field goal that shit. And then you got Quentin who says, let's get this kid some toys. Let's get the kids some toys. Oh, hey, yeah, we raised $1,000 last month to get the kids some toys. They were actually due yesterday. So we've already got them their toys. We got pictures. We're going to be putting up a tweet and shit later on, probably tomorrow or something, with all the stuff. We were able to get like 2 bikes and a fuck ton of shoes and clothes and shit because those were the things that were most needed. And 2 Amazon Fire Kindle Fire things. They're tablets that you thing on.
And gift cards.
Oh, and gift cards because, you know, kids love gift cards. Quentin says, then get GE some real beer. This is the redneck beer of choice, okay? I'm sorry, I couldn't go down to Natty Light. I just couldn't do it.
Because it was a crueler time, but nevertheless, so you could say that the Bible, to a degree, you could say it supports slavery. You could try to make that argument, but you could not say that the Bible supports the abuse and cruelty that people did to their slaves.
Well, I highly disagree. My argument is that the Bible endorses slavery, and it has some protections in there for Israelite slaves, but on the non-Israelite slaves, they were, and I hold on, I'm going to bring this back up again. I shouldn't have deleted it last time, but I just want to bring it up again. Maybe I'm going to put it full thing. Non-Israelites taken captive in war or purchased are treated as inheritable property and can be abused without limit. Without limit. Dipshit. So no, it was crueler back then, and also jobs today are not slave jobs. They're not whatsoever.
That people did to their slaves throughout history of the world. So that's my objection to that. So God bless for watching.
God bless y'all for watching.
Oh, I thought he said God bless the wife. I was
No.
like, all right.
Casey's like, I'll take that God's blessing. Go on ahead, pour it on me. But also, I like how at the end there, maybe it's just because, you know, we watched Forrest Gump here lately, but it recently, thank you, Casey, for correcting my grammar.
Sorry.
But I feel like at that point, he's just like, and that's all I got to say about that. And then he eats himself a piece of chocolate. Life is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to fucking get. Okay. So that's all for his video. Let's get back to the main camera here. We did get a super chat from Uhan Roderick that says, how late am I? Well, Uhan, you've missed the entire show, except for the Skeptic Mafia thing at the end. Because we're about to go to the Skeptic Mafia comments, where people left comments about the video tonight. Bud Light. Christopher and Herb Squirrel said, oh, hey, Jake's ride just arrived. Shut the fuck up, truck! I love that particular emoji. Anyways, so, all in all, if you want a good summary of the stream tonight, Jakey Poo here thinks that the modern workplace is the same as slavery because you're working for somebody. He totally neglects the fact that we have, like, labor laws and, like, protections for workers and shit like that. But also, you can choose to leave your job if you want to. You are not beholden to any one particular job. and you're definitely paid, and you're not inheritable property. You're not chattel. Whereas in the Bible, there were definitely chattel slaves, but there were also Israelite slaves who were debt slaves, which did not necessarily mean that after they paid their debt back, they were released.
Supposed to be every 7 years.
It's supposed to be every 7 years, but there are circumstances where the debt slave could become inheritable property, basically, and so they can never escape, being a slave. That would come in the form of like the owner guy giving the debt slave, a wife, and then them having children, and then at the end of his term, he's either going to leave his family behind or stay a debt slave. So, because that does happen, and if the slave is like a non-Israelite slave that's given to the debt slave, and they have a kid, the debt slave or the non-Israelite slave and the child are inheritable property from the owner, which then makes the debt slave inheritable property, and just slave forever. So there's definitely a path in Israelite slavery to become a slave for your entire life. So there you go. Slavery with G-E! And it definitely was really bad. All right?
You're Brocephus.
Oh, Brocephus. That's right. Slavery with Brocephus! Yeah, Uhan's going to do something crazy with that and then post-edit. I just know it right now. I see Uhan there in the chat. Hey, Uhan. I don't know if we should do a re-edit of this, Uhan, because last time when we did it with them really pale-ass white bitches, it almost got his channel taken down, so I don't think we should do that this time. But anyways, so, slavery's bad. Bible, well, parts of it are good. As long as you read the good parts of the Bible, it's fine. Ignore the bad parts of the Bible, or else you're probably going to lose your faith, okay? But in any case, Jakey Poo here is wrong. Slavery's always bad, and there's no good justification for slavery. That's what I want to say. Roundabout's way of saying it. Anyways, we're going to go to the Skeptic Mafia comments. If you don't know, the Skeptic Mafia here is when you fucking punch your screen and you hit that join button. Don't really punch your screen. The lawyers are telling me that we might be liable for a lot of screens right now. Don't punch your screens because I can't pay for 97 screens right now. Don't punch it, but just lightly caress it, either with your tongue or your mouse. Either one. Just go ahead, caress it, join the Skeptic Mafia, and you too can leave a comment on the dipshit videos that we watch on Fridays. So we're about to go into those comments right now. I'm going to be sticking around the entire night, so let's fucking get to it. Hey, if you're going to be leaving out right now, I hope that you guys will... Oh, what the fuck did he say? Stand up, use your ass, and blow Jesus. Bye, heathens.
That's not the saying.
But don't go, because we gotta read the Skeptic Mafia comments, and I'm sure the Skeptic Mafia loves it when Persephus reads the comments. They're all thinking, no, we would just rather have a normal fucking stream. What the fuck are you doing right now?
You yelled for an hour.
I have yelled for an hour, so, that's just what it takes. Hold on, I gotta get the Mafia comments pulled up. Okay. Sorry, I'm about 2 beers in, and it's getting a little difficult. All right, here we go. Yeah, I realized I didn't play this fucking ukulele all night. Hold on. We're gonna make up a song right here. Skeptic Mafia comments. They got problems with the video we watched. I mean, I had problems with the video too, so we're on the same page there as far as having fucking problems with the video. Bud Light. All right, Jane Pusecker's up first. Hey there, Jane. How you doing? Jane Pusecker says, can't wait to see this. Looks very interesting. My comment would have been longer, but I got busy, so I'm keeping it short. In the Old Testament, it comes as no surprise that there would be mention of slavery, of course. There would be, because in that part of the world, but the slavery that existed in the Middle East is different than the slavery that existed in the U.S. The United States had chattel slavery, which lasted until 1885. Excuse me. Israelites also had chattel slavery, just as a little bit of a side note there. They were people from other nations. Like, for instance, let's just say here in America, we wanted to go and kidnap everybody in Canada because they're liberal as shit and we don't like them. They keep stealing our shoes. So we go there and we steal them as people. And because they're part of a different nation, we can do that because of Bible things. And they would be considered chattel slavery at spoils of war is what they call it. Isn't that right? There were several times in the Old Testament where the Israelites, here's a fucked up story for y'all. Y'all ready for some Brocephus story time? Here we go. I'm ready. All right. So in the Bible, there's this one particular story where God is talking to fucking Israel, I think it was Israel, Jacob, talking to him and his whole family, and it was like, hey, look, here are these fucks over here in this village. Why don't you do this? Why don't you go and you convince them to circumcise themselves? I almost said castrate. That's not right. To circumcise themselves. And then once you convince them to circumcise themselves, you go in and you kill all of them. You just, you kill all of them and take all their women that hadn't known the dick. You take all of them, you bring them back to your own fucking lot here, and then you get to keep them as sexual slaves. That's a real story in the Bible. All right? We've gone over it. It's pretty fucked up. The main takeaway from it is definitely get your enemies to circumcise themselves because they will be hurting the next day. Anyways.
Is that the moral?
That is the moral of that particular story, yes.
Okay.
And listen to God and Jesus.
Right.
All right? This type of slavery, the person was often traded and had no rights and were expected to perform forced unpaid labor in order to do favors under the master's command. For women, this is sometimes meant intimate favors. Yes, there were plenty of sexual slaves at that time. I would say...
You mean rape, Jim?
Rape. It's not intimate favors, it's rape. The forced. It was definitely forced. Just like with the taking of women, the young virgin girls, which would have been what we consider now to be prepubescent and pubescent girls, take them and they would take them as wives and then commit what's the marital rape? It would be marital rape, but I mean, it was a forced marriage. So, but yeah. Serfdom slaves, which was common in the ancient world, worked on the land and could not leave the land or marry their master's permission. These are just two types of slavery that exist, and there are many others, but would be fair to say serfdom slavery was probably the most common in biblical times. Well, like I said, in the Old Testament of the Bible, there are two different types of slaves: debt slaves and chattel slaves. Chattel slaves had a lot less rights than the debt slaves. The debt slaves did have rights, but the chattel slaves had a lot less rights and a lot less protections. And they were treated as property, which is pretty similar to the chattel slavery that existed in antebellum South. So the antebellum slavery is not really all that much better because you're still owning people. But thank you, Jane, for your comment. I appreciate you. And I was really just shit talking the whole slavery thing. That part gets me a little riled up, you know. Anyways, Phantom Blue, how you do? I'm sorry. I watched a lot of Greg Locke before coming on here, and so he likes to rhyme shit.
That is a mistake.
I'll agree that we live in way different times now than back when the Bible was written. Different challenges, different societies, different technologies. So why should anyone blindly follow a book written for its time nearly 2,000 years later? That is a good fucking question. And as a Christian, the only answer I really have is because of God. You have to do it because God says to do it, and that's all that I got for you. I'm going to have another room. And I'm out of that one. He's really cherry picking the Bible about slavery. It worries me that he makes it a point to talk about verbal abuse towards slaves being forbidden and doesn't mention physical abuse. Does this mean he condones physical abuse? Then what about the passage that says it's fine to beat the slave as long as they don't die within 2 days? Well, I'm not sure how he would argue around that, but I do like how he's like, now look, they definitely beat the shit out of them, and the Bible doesn't say don't beat the shit out of them, but definitely don't talk shit while you're doing it. God damn, why are you a savage? And then Vanta goes on to say, yes, paid labor is the same as slavery. I'll admit the difference between them is probably smaller in the USA than in a developed country, but the difference is still there. I like how we're no longer a developed country now. And it's all because of Trump.
I think you meant developing countries.
Oh, developing countries? Then in a developing country. Okay. Stay safe, y'all, and use your brain. I agree there, Vanta. Thank you so much for that. Daniel M. How you doing? All he does here is downplay slavery, then justifies it to make the Bible good again. He really needs to read the fucking thing or tune into the Daily Bible Podcast, which is every Tuesday, generally the same day that the Skeptic Mafia podcast goes up. This week I was a little late, so I hope you Skeptic Mafiosos out there will pardon me for that, but I still got it to you. But yeah, definitely Daily Bible Podcast every Tuesday at sometime in the morning. Slavery is and was never right. No, we are not slaves to our employer. If we don't like something or just feel like or don't feel like it, we can leave. The way he starts off makes me think that he thinks atheists are out unwinning souls. Seriously? Did I miss the memo? How many doors did you knock this week, John? Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak for GE, but personally, I saw him leave the house like 2 times. So if he was knocking on doors, he definitely did not do that much of it. If we don't get our asses out there, then no one will be lost. I know, right? I don't try to get anybody to leave religion. That's good for you there, Daniel. GE's the exact same way. That would be up to the person. It is wrong to force views on anyone, and yes, that means religion too. I wholeheartedly agree. It hurt a little bit. Anyway, you all should join the Skeptic Mafia. We're depraved, shitty, and make Ray not so comfortable. That's fucking good right there. GE made Ray nearly throw up. You can do shitty things like help the kiddos, feed the hungry people, and be part of a great family. Joining will make David smile, and his smile is cute. That is a cute little guy right there. Daniel's David. He's a cute little kid. You can also make John play the ukulele and sing. I'm not John, but I'll do my best. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Harmony!
Whoa. What?
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate your comment there, bud. Michael W. Ruble. Everybody saves this video and play it whenever any theist makes a bullshit biblical slavery argument. Jake brilliantly destroys all of the irrational, delusional points in less than 4 minutes using quaint, unintentional, homespun sarcasm. So, the next time a Bible thumper brings up this thoroughly debunked topic, tell them this is what they look like. Show them this vid, drop their phone, and walk away. Thank you. Shop safely and wear a mask, motherfuckers! I added the motherfucker part. Just saying. Drew's Book Reviews! Perhaps he can't understand what it's like to be a slave. If he can't find one to talk to, perhaps a literary figure can help him understand why it's wrong. May I recommend The Way of Kings with focus on Kaladin? Wherever that is. I will spare you the rant just to see the Kaladin Stormblessed vid on my channel, but first sub and like GE's channel if you enjoyed tonight's vid. Until then, keep on reading. I definitely will there, Drew, and go and check out his book reviews. They are pretty awesome. Drew does great content over there, so awesome, Drew. Then we got Quentin Van Boeven, who's got a lot to say. I'm going to start off with something a little rude and say he looks like the type of person who would want there to still be slavery. You know, I feel like the Jergens on his desk says that more than anything. No, not really. It's fine. Masturbation's cool. Now, if the Bible is supposed to be a source of moral guidance, don't you think God would have made sure to mention slavery is bad instead of, giving the instructions on how to beat your slaves? I mean, yeah, you would think so, but God had a lot to do with his lightning dick that day. He had not only the 10 Commandments, but then 900 other ones. And obviously he wasn't thinking about slavery at the time because fuck those people. The only law I know of given by the Bible about slaves is that if you beat them and they die within 3 days, there will be punishments. I forgot what they are exactly. Forgive me. Well, generally they're not killed. Like the owners aren't killed. They're just like fined or something like that, because obviously chattel slaves are not really people. There's that part, but also there's more laws in there in the appendix, the 900 other laws that kind of shape how you're supposed to treat slaves, and it's pretty obvious that they were not treated as people. Okay, and these would be the non-Israelite slaves, those that were conquered by war and other ways. So, yeah, those were those people. Did he say that there is no one who thinks they're a slave to their employer? Because I'm sure there are people who in one way or another feel like that. I feel like the getting paid part no longer makes it slavery could be wrong. We danced around it, but he finally did say that the Bible does not condemn slavery. I'll give him half a point for that. Anyway, time to shill. Hey, you. Yes, you. Have you hit the like, share, and subscribe button? Just full transparency, I almost said unsubscribe right there. Whew! Really dodged that one. If not, go on down there and hit them to make the AI overlord look favorably upon GE here. Also, while you're down there, consider hitting that join link to become part of the Skeptic Mafia to get some sweet-ass perks like emojis, including the 15-foot wheel pin worth the price itself. I know, right? It's awesome. It's right there in the chat right now. I'm sure everybody's spamming the chat with fucking whale dicks all over the place. A weekly podcast on Tuesdays, a monthly hangout, ability to help choose Friday's videos, and, of course, being able to preview the video to make comments like these where you can make GE say damn near anything. Watch. I, GE, believe that Star Trek is far superior to Star Wars and that Casey is always right, even when she is not. What? Also, I believe that indexing at 1 is the correct thing to do. Oh, God damn it. No, it's not. You always index at 0. You index at 0. Anybody that indexes at 1 deserves hell. I'll go out on a limb and say it. You deserve hell because that's just shitty. Indexing at 1. Anyways, I'm just kidding, Quentin. You don't deserve to go to hell. Any heathens, that's my time. Make sure to stand up and use your voice, and of course, wash your damn hands. Thank you, Quentin. And then we got Uhan Roderick, who says, "Fuck that." That's just the way it was back then. It was never okay to own a damn human being as property. Period. End of story. Close the book, pack it up, and go the fuck home. Then, dude tries to change the focus to things about not abusing a slave or being employed or being employed as slavery. No, stop making videos if this is what you're gonna do. Smash the subscribe button, make out with that thumbs up, and caress that join button. Wear a damn mask, don't be an asshole. It doesn't matter what any president-elect, etc. says. No, the government can't enforce mandating you to wear a mask, but your peers can hold you accountable for your ass-hattery. Businesses can enforce policies. We, the people, are the ones who need to step up and nut up and squash this thing. Slapping a piece of fabric on the front of your face is not oppression, snowflakes. God damn, you're really giving them a business, aren't you there? Wearing a damn mask is a great way to avoid things getting shut down. Don't want shit shut down? Stop being an asshole. P.S. A virus doesn't give a goddamn who you voted for. Don't make it political. End rant. Woo! That was a good rant. I really like that one. Thank you. Jonathan Nickel has written a biography or something. Not a biography, a narrative. That's my bad, Jonathan. Jonathan Nickel says another idiot tries to make excuses for slavery in the Bible, and the more he goes on, the more ridiculous he sounds. He can't even pronounce the word relevant, or argument, or technically. Honestly, I can't even pronounce it the way he pronounced it, but whatever. Atheists get into your head, or do we? Or do we ask you to take a close look at what your book actually says? Are you human enough to admit the inhumanity contained within its pages? I feel like the 2 beers is making my dyslexia a little bit worse. It's heightening the dyslexia. The time period is irrelevant, especially considering that Christians claim that book to be the word of an omniscient God. They call it God-breathed. Why would the God of the Bible approve such acts even then? Shouldn't the first commandment have been, thou shalt not own another human being as property? Well, but at that point, he was stroking his lightning dick, and he was really just thinking about pleasing himself. So, of course, he had to make the first 4 commandments all about how you can please his dick the best. Okay? So, I mean, that's what was on his mind when he was penning those down. Like, all right, Moses, hold it still. No idols. Only worship me. The time period, or he says the book is against verbally abusing slaves, but how about physical abuse? You know, I missed that in the video, but I like how you can't talk shit to them, but you can definitely beat the shit out of them. The book says you can beat your slave as long as they don't die within a couple days. The New Testament does indeed talk about slaves. It says, slaves, obey your masters. It's a good point right there. Let's move on from that. An employee is not a slave, dumbass. Employment is a contract between the employee and employer, and either party can terminate that contract. In fact, that is easier for the employee, as they can just quit their job, whilst the employer needs to justify the dismissal. Well, fun fact for the United States, not every single state is a right-to-work state. Like Alabama, you can get fired for any fucking thing. They don't even have to say why they fired you. You could have looked at them cross one day and they're like, you're fired. And it would be perfectly fine. Like, you can't sue. As far as I understand it, I've never had to really worry about that because I am a delight to work with. Isn't that right there, Casey?
Yes, you are delightful.
I am delightful as fuck. Things are a little different for the Army. When you sign up, you agree to serve for a given number of years, but this is still a choice the soldier makes when they enlist. An employee works in order to receive a regular wage. What is the slave awarded for their work? That's true, but also there are laws that are meant to protect, even in a contractual situation like that, there are laws put out there to protect the people that enlist and to protect our soldiers within the Army. I'm just speaking from a totally America kind of point of view, but for us, that's what we have. I'm not sure Britain and all that has.
Well, it's the military overall.
UK. Oh, the military overall minus the Army?
not
Oh.
just the army.
Oh, not just the military in general. Yeah, sorry. This has to be one of the most nonsensical attempts to try and support biblical slavery I've ever come across. And considering what we hear from name your apologist, Frank Turk, William Lane Craig, capturing dipshit, that really is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Sean J. trotting out the old argument that slavery was just the style of the time. This is such a Dunning-Kruger answer. Although true, that actually points to the Bible not being the word of God, but the words of men attempted to set up a patriarchal society centered around worshiping the sun for their benefit. That was amazing that I made it all the way through that. You can see this all throughout the Old Testament, the way power is inherited through the male line, the way Jesus is the King of Kings through Joseph's ancestral history, even though Jesus is not related to Joseph, and so on. That is a bit fucky, how Jesus is supposedly related to David through Joseph, but yet Joseph is not his dad. That it seems a bit of a fucky situation, right?
Yes.
Urban Imposter says, I'm pretty sure if you have a book that tells you how to beat another human being, something, if they don't die, you're fine, is condoning slavery. I agree. Not to mention Southern plantation owners using the Holy Bible to justify slavery. But it says Hoary Bible, Hoary Blibble, the Hoary Blibble.
Yep.
Finally, don't forget to YouTube things here. Definitely do the YouTube, to smash the subscribe, hit the like, and then, watch my videos. GE's videos. Trickster says, please look, and saved, held for my comment, had to edit it. I got you right here.
You got it?
Oh yeah, I got Trickster's comment. This guy wants to put a good spin on slavery. The practice of one person owning another person. I really can't seem to find anywhere that this practice is a good thing. And just because it was the practice of the times, that still don't make it right. That still can't make it right. He goes on to either mistakenly or deceptively state that slaves were not mistreated and were not beaten. Then why does it state that you are not held accountable if the slave does not die within a couple days? That's a good question. He then goes on to trying to equate working a job with a form of slavery. One problem with that analogy, you go home from work at the end of the day and you choose who you work for. Sorry, Jake, but not even close to slavery. Like, subscribe, and share if you want to join the club that will never enslave you. Drop a few dollars in GE's pocket, some of which will go to people in need because GE and his beautiful wife Casey are just the worst atheists out there, giving their earnings to people in need. Become a Skeptic Mafia member and help GE and Casey help more people. GE will give you perks like the members only podcast, a chance to watch the Friday video early, and emojis that you can have fun with in the live chats. Yeah, so I do believe that they dropped off all of the presents and everything over at the Kids to Love place this week, and we did something smart this time. Instead of just going out and buying random shit, we actually coordinated. Well, they coordinated with
I did that last year.
Oh, did you?
Buy random shit.
Oh, that's right. They needed
random shit last year. We bought what they needed. I called.
Right. Sorry, we did buy what they needed, but they needed more toys and stuff last year.
More toys last year.
Sorry, they needed more toys and stuff last year. This year they didn't. That's my bad. My bad. But yeah, so we coordinated with them just like last year. We were able to get them the shit that they need. So we appreciate everybody. Like I said, we were able to raise about $1,000 between the PayPal poll and all the money that we earned here on the channel through super chats and memberships and all that kind of stuff. So and ads. So it's been an awesome year this year. Jonathan Hanachek. Holy shit, the man just said they don't condone, but then he changes his statement and said, but not viciously attacking and or maintaining their slaves, maiming their slaves. At 156, then tries to compare how we work and receive payment today from working and saying that you're sort of a slave to them. No, we can quit and go find a better job and not lose, possibly limb, because of wanting to get a better job. Oh, life and limb. I think life, possibly limb. Not lose and not lose possibly a limb because of wanting to get a better job. Because with education, a whole bunch of extra things open up to the person wanting a better job. Personally, if some moronic manager for superior try to superior try to force you into doing something that you don't have the experience or the know-how and could possibly get you killed, I personally am gonna tell them to go fuck themselves and go find a better job. Good for you there, Jonathan. It's in my mind, makes me not a slave. The morons like this think that they are, but most likely that's the reason why the world is so fucked up today. Now for the fun part, if you haven't already clicked the like or dislike button, whichever one you feel this video deserves, and if you like more of this content, please, for your best interest, put this, put that bill icon on full, and wait to be beamed up by mafiosos. And without further ado, tell KC she's doing a great job with the podcast. Without her guidance, would most likely never make it through. And then we got Gary White, who says, can't wait to watch tonight. See you guys tonight. I hope you're here there, Gary. And then KC said, I'll be there. Heart. Thank you there, hon. I mean, KC.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, let's get back to the main camp. We have some super chats to go over. Thank you so much for all the mafiosos that commented tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Cernian says, buy butt plug, apply liberal lube and shit. Why a butt plug?
You're not going to do that.
We're not buying butt plugs?
No.
Why not? We could buy the baby Jesus butt plug.
No.
I mean, come on.
No.
Okay. Uhan says podcast is also on Google, Apple, and Spotify. Thank you there, Uhan. Appreciate you. Dave Lee says, God breathed. Was that the noise that Rudy Giuliani made in court the other day? Probably. Except that was probably just God farting because only shit comes out of Rudy Giuliani's mouth. Quentin Van Booven. The stream was light on Uke. We need more sing. Shake my head. I'll sing this last one from Big Sky Pioneer. America! Who else can hardly wait for the presidential Twitter feed to be something no one cares about? I can't wait for it to be something nobody cares about or talks about. Did y'all see what Biden said today? God damn, that was a hot take, wasn't it? I'm glad not to have to say that for the next 4 years. Whew. It's, let's see. Gary White says, I'm here, just been listening. Thank you there, Gary. And then Drew says, does Godless Engineer know Bro Cephas is after his wife? Whew, if he doesn't know yet, he will know soon. If that's gonna be it for tonight. If you guys got any questions, I have just a couple minutes where I can answer any questions that you guys have. I'm all out of beer, so I'm starting to sober up a little bit because I mean this is Bud Light. It's basically just a little bit of alcohol and some piss. Fran Wilson said I missed it. What did Biden say? Nothing. I was saying that I'm glad that that's not going to be the standard thing every morning for the next 4 years at least, to wake up and be like, holy shit. What the fuck did the president say today? News Abel says that's great, Jane. Unitarianism is a major upgrade. I agree. Unitarianism is a pretty good switch out from just the general Christianity. Rick B says, what sealed the deal was the total lack of evidence for most of the biblical characters and events. That also kind of helped me, but it was kind of like after I decided that, like, well, I got to figure out what I believe. And so I looked at other things and, oh, shit, hold on, I'm Cephas. I still believe in the Bible, motherfucker. Get that shit out of here. Christopher says, GE, yeah, American beer is like having sex in a canoe. It's fucking close to water. I fucking agree. I had to get 2 of these before my dyslexia really hit in. Uhan says, GE Daily Bible Podcast is also on Apple, Google, and Spotify. That's fucking right, it is. It's on Apple, Google, Spotify, and shit, and you guys can listen to it there if you want to without all the video shit. So thank you, Uhan, for managing that, by the way. Drew's Book Review says, GE, the world did in 10 months what normally takes 10 years developing vaccines. Imagine if we globally had this much focus on science as the norm instead of religious anti-science ideas. Whew, we would be flying in cars and shit. They got bikes now that'll transform into those little air vehicle things. Those would be in every home, and I would definitely have one and drive it every day. No. I would. It would be safe. Daniel M says, David has a girlfriend now. He asked a waitress, would you please be my girlfriend, GE? Well, what did she say? Hopefully she was like, you're a little young, but you're cute. Christopher says, you have dyslexia? I have dyslexia. Well, just let me preface. I don't have diagnosed dyslexia, but I've noticed with the way that I read stuff sometimes, I feel like it's all of the signs of dyslexia. So I'm not officially like diagnosed with it, but the way that I read things and the way that I've noticed way too many things that match directly up with dyslexia. So maybe I shouldn't say, it ramps up my dyslexia because I'm not officially diagnosed with dyslexia, but I'm just saying that it really, like, it all the signs are there. It kind of hits home. Drew says dyslexia is the most common reading problem in the world and is far more common than most people think. Yep. Daniel M says, she said, how can I say no? Cernian says, GE, can you Chewbacca? I gotta try it. I cannot Chewbacca. That was my best Chewbacca. Cadence says, GE, just saying hi. Hey there, Cadence. I hope you had a good night tonight. I don't know if you watched much of the stream, but nope, can't do it. Sorry. Mama Atheist said, this is fucking priceless. It's going to be clipped out. I just know it. We should watch The Mandalorian later there, honey. Oh, Cadence was here before it started. Uhan says, I don't know why I did that, Math Pig. Kaden says, come on, even I can do Chewbacca. I can't do Chewbacca. Hey, while I got some of the Skeptic Mafia here, probably going to do December 19th for the Mafia Hangout. I think that's when we're going to do the Mafia Hangout. Bro, Cephas better back off KC or GE will come for him. That's probably true. Jonathan Hatchek, do you have time? Do you have some free time for some chats? You just got to hit me up. I think you normally hit me up on Facebook, so just hit me up there. Sorry I didn't hit you up about it. Yeah, 19th will work. Okay, good. All right, awesome. Well, I got to go because I need to eat. Sugar's getting low and shit like that, and I got to get me some more beer. So I will see you guys later. I'm going to go watch The Mandalorian with KC because that's one of the only Star Wars things she cares to watch. And I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. All that kind of good shit. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah, I think stand up and use your ass. Twerk.
Stand up, use your ass, twerk that shit. And I got 11,000 steps, even though I've been standing my ass still. I'll see you later, heathens. I broke the stream, I think.